Well, welcome back to Crossroads. If you think about Burt Reynolds, maybe if you're here in Marion, you also think about our friend Mark Fauser, who worked with Burt Reynolds. I guess it's fair to say you were his student for a long time.
Oh, yeah. It was
workshopping down in Florida. But he's here today to talk about the book that he wrote, Out of Love, when Mr. Reynolds passed away in the last year. Welcome, Mark.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Passion Project.
Passion Project.
And you said when you found out that Burt was gone, what did the book already come to you then?
No, I just started cathartically writing about many of the stories on Facebook, and it started, a lot of people liked it and said you should write a book, and I've never really thought about writing a book, but I felt like the one thing that people really don't know about Burt Reynolds is what a generous heart he has. And I am just one of many Because of Burt stories, and I felt like I needed to tell it, and maybe some of my other teammates will tell their story. But you know, basically, because of Burt, I met my wife, and I have a beautiful family. Because of Burt, I was in his school and had a great education. I was an actor on his show. I was a writer on his show. I met so many people in the business. And then there was a moment, I remember, when he hired me to write on Evening Shade, which was such a huge thing. And another one of his students was the executive producer of Sequest. And he hired me to act, and I said, my loyalty is with you, Burt, but your other student just hired me to act. And he goes, well, do both. I go, you don't mind? He goes, no. I go, well, what about Steven Spielberg? He goes, and he picks up the phone and calls him and tells him the story. And he goes, hangs up, no problem. And I got really emotional, and I asked him, why are you doing all this for me? He goes, because Jimmy Stewart did it for me, and someday I want you to do it for other people. And that's how I got involved with this community and the Community School of the Arts, is I felt like that was really important to pay it forward. And that's what the book's about, is friendship and the importance of paying it forward in life.
Yeah, and what was the process like for you when you were writing the book? Because there are so many different stages and steps when you're writing a book. So what was it like for you?
Well, there was a lot of laughter, and, internally, and some tears as well. But I wrote it really fat, and I was blessed to have some really good friends that were great critics. One is Mary Ackerley from the library, some local people like Terry Lakes and Diana Gardner, and my best friend Rich Petrosky, and of course my wife. And they were going, this has nothing to do with the story. Cut it down, cut it down. And it was like a 360-page book that was reduced to about 218 or so.
A number of people that live here locally remember when you brought Burt to Marion and he performed on stage for that CSA show. But what do we not know about Burt Reynolds? There's so many celebrities, and I've seen a few of them up close, not huge stars like Burt Reynolds, but I've seen a few of them up close, and it's like you talk about, the best ones are very generous with their time. What else do you want people to know about Burt Reynolds, the person that you experienced?
I think that's it, is the generosity. There's a story that he'll brush off, but he confirmed it to me, and I heard it from various sources. But there was kind of a street artist that looked pretty grubby and looked like they needed all the help they can get, but Burt really believed in that art. He loved that art. And he went to that person and says, I want you to do me a favor. He goes, I want you to come to my house this weekend and bring all that stuff, but take a shower and clean up, okay? And bring all that stuff. And the guy, oh, okay. And he shows up, and there's Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin, all of these wonderful people. And within one night, they do a spontaneous auction, and the person becomes a millionaire overnight. And the thing is Burt would believe in people more than you believed in yourself. And I talk about that a lot in the book. It's about faith. You have to have tremendous faith to believe the task that he puts in front of you. Like for me, he challenged me. He didn't know I didn't finish the play, The Right to Remain Silent. It was just a few scenes in Charles Nelson Riley's acting class. Well, he said, I want you to do it in my theater next week. Well, I didn't want to say no, because I didn't want to lose the opportunity. So how do you write and produce a play in a week? Well, if he believes in you and you believe in God, anything can happen. And so we did it. It was published. He brings Showtime. They make it into a movie. It wins the Cable Ace Award, but it's all because he believed it. He did that for Sally Field when nobody believed in her during Smokey and the Bandit. He did it for Farrah Fawcett before, Cannonball Run, and he's done it to countless other people.
And what do people need to do to get their hands on this book?
Oh, thank you so much. Well, I self-published it through Amazon, and Jamie Beckler did it for me. He's tremendous. And So I would really ask the community if they would go to Amazon and
Title?
Because of Burt.
Because of Burt. Oh,
Yes.
that's easy enough to remember.
Because of Burt.
Well, he's Mark Fauser. It's a labor of love, truly.
Truly.
And good memories, and maybe a side of Burt Reynolds you didn't hear about in the tabloids.
That's right.
and a lot of people don't realize how big he was. Those of us that were around in the 70s know this guy was huge, and you were right up there with him.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mark Fauser,
Hey,
for coming
I
in.
appreciate you both. Thank you.